You are listening to the In Between Sales Calls podcast with Derek Shebby, episode 33. Welcome, everyone. Back in early 2019, I heard that Disney was starting its own streaming service, and their plan was to rival Netflix and Amazon Prime, HBO, you get the picture. Now, I thought something like this was happening because shows were disappearing from our Netflix queue. Shows like Star Wars that my boys and I were watching, taken off. It was Clone Wars, by the way. Such a great show. But the same thing with Moana, easily one of the best Disney movies ever made. Gone. Well, I guess that all amazing content had to be right-sized someday. It was only costing us about $10 per month for all that access. But fast forward to the end of the year, November I think it was finally announced. Disney Plus, the home of everything Disney owned in a streaming service. All the Disney movies that they ever made and all the shows they ever made. Marvel movies and all the shows Marvel was planning on making. Star Wars movies and all the shows they had out. Pixar movies and National Geographic. Yeah, I don't really know how National Geographic was part of their portfolio, but anyway. Now this package alone in one streaming service sounds pretty sexy though, right? But chances are, even if you don't have kids like me, getting access to this content might be a necessity. But how does Disney, who's making $1 billion per Marvel movie, and Star Wars movie in the box office, how do they get people to sign up fast? Well, they did what all top salespeople do. Today's success habit is to create deadlines in your deal. Winners manufacture deadlines. They're made up. It's all invented. Deadlines are created to get people to move faster. I had someone say to me on LinkedIn the other day, "But Derek, aren't consumers too smart for deadlines? Doesn't it sound like people have commission breath if they give a deadline?" That's a good question. And it would be true if consumers with access to information everywhere could see through this strategy, except they don't. Heck, we don't. You, listening to this right now, have fallen for this truth about deadlines every single day. I'm sure you've heard of things like the Nordstrom's half-yearly sale, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Amazon Prime Day. Look, those companies could offer those deals any day they wanted, but they made it special by putting a deadline on it. The deadline makes it seem logical. They could only afford to do it that one day, so I took advantage of it. They only do this to attract more customers. They're leading with a loss. It's their sale they do only one time per year. That's what we say as consumers when we try to justify their deadline. Look, we make decisions faster when there's a time limit attached. So let's continue back with that Disney Plus example so you can see what I mean. So how does Disney, who's making $1 billion per Marvel movie and Star Wars movie in the box office, how are they going to get people to sign up fast? Well, they created a promotion, they invented it and backed it up with logic, and they said that if you were to sign up early before it actually launched and signed up for a 3-year contract, you could get it for $4 per month. That's right, $4 per month. And the regular price was going to be $7 per month. Well, if you do the math, that's a $3 savings per month. Woo! Or a $36 savings per year. Per year, $36. Hey, you pay more than that in one tank of gas. Does Disney need to give that away? No. Are you getting an unreal deal to sign up? Not really. If you sign up at the normal time, you would just be paying $36 more per year than if you missed the original deadline. Plus, you wouldn't be stuck in a 3-year commitment either, right? But Disney only gave you 2 weeks to get this special early access deal. This wasn't one of those you have until the end of the month to sign up. That's just dumb. People don't believe that. That end of the month thing never works. This thing was over after the second Friday of the month, if I remember correctly. It was random, almost like it didn't matter if you missed the date. But that's the deadline, so don't miss it. And people lost their minds over it. They finished with over 10 million people that signed up by that deadline in 2 weeks. Why? Because they felt like they were getting a good deal. Would they have gotten the same amount of people to sign up eventually? Sure. But the deadline caused it to happen for a lot of people right away. What was the logic that Disney made up for the reason behind the special? They were starting a new service. They needed to make sure they had enough demand on the platform to get going. They wanted to lose money up front in order to get the service going. You get the picture. Was it ever going to be a problem for Disney when they owned Disney movies and Marvel movies and Star Wars movies and Pixar movies and National Geographic? No. They just understood a fundamental truth of creating urgency. You need to manufacture deadlines. So how can you use this in sales? Because top sales performers use this all the time. And they don't just use it with customers. They use it with the companies they work for. Winners manufacture deadlines to create urgency, to get people to move faster. In order to use it, you must recognize what both parties want. For example, if you're using a deadline with your company, you make it logical by first understanding what does your company want? And they want to take care of their customers, right? They don't want to lose a customer. They want to win as many good deals as possible. Basically, they want to increase the revenues coming in and reduce the amount of churn or lost customers going out. And top sales performers know this. They get more out of their own company by leveraging this when they need something from them, by telling them, hey, if we don't get this done by tomorrow afternoon, we could lose this customer. The only shot at winning their business is if we can get this done by Wednesday. This customer could easily be a top tier customer of ours, so we've got to show them how fast we can move. They do this to get their own people to move faster. They do this today. This is a trait people use right now. And they do this so they can ultimately demonstrate to their customer how bad their own company wants their business. This is what top salespeople do across the board. The same thing happens when we want our customers to move faster. We create deadlines. Just like with our companies, we need to understand what's important to our customers before we can create a deadline that's logical. Here's an easy example. Let's say you determine that your customer wants to move forward with your services, but can't do it for 3 months. You find out the reason they can't do it for 3 months is because they're on a spending freeze because of the pandemic, or maybe that's just when they're fully out of the contract that you're going to be replacing. But they tell you they plan on moving forward with you after those 3 months because they believe your services would be valuable to them, better than what they have today. So what could you offer them to get them to move forward now? What about giving them the first 3 months for free? What about offering a 3-month deferred program where those months get pushed onto the back end of the contract? Look, your logic around the program is that your company wants to earn their business and is willing to cover the first 3 payments. As long as they move forward, right? By Friday, or by tonight, or by tomorrow morning. Do you think the customer would move forward? Of course they would. You get the picture. This is just one example, but the idea here is the same. Winners manufacture deadlines. They determine what's important to the other party, and then they use deadlines to get that person to move faster, to get that company to sign faster. And they logically support those deadlines in a way that's connected to what's important to the buyer. Disney knew we would want their service. They created a deadline to get people to sign up early. Top performers know their company wants to win more business and keep from losing customers. They create a deadline to get more out of their own company that they can leverage to win more business. Top performers know that when they understand what's important to their customers in a sales cycle, they can create a deadline to get their customers to sign up now versus later. Everything is backed by logic. So I thought I'd give you a deadline at the end of this episode because why not? So here's the offer. You give me a 5-star review and comment as to what you love about this podcast in whatever podcast platform you're using and screenshot it. Then share that screenshot and review that you just did on social media and tag me on it. Chances are I'm on there somewhere. Then email me the screenshot to derek@modernsalestraining.com. That's it, 3 things. So give me the 5-star review with a comment, then share that 5-star review in the comment on social media, tag me on it, right? And then email me the screenshot to derek@modernsalestraining.com. And if you do that, I will schedule a time to meet with you virtually and share with you my template for creating urgency that I've used to close millions of sales in my career. I had a managing director tell me last week his team used this template and was able to close 3 extra deals with it in 1 day. I want to share it with you, but you need to hit the deadline. All of these must be time-stamped. during the same day. So you need to review it and share it and email me in the same day. And I'll see that obviously when you send it over to me. So I'm looking forward to giving you this template and giving you an edge on making some crazy money in the future, but you need to hit the deadline. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for allowing me to join you in your sales journey. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out our free Top Performer Academy course. Inside it, I'll give you 12 sales tips that only the best salespeople do on a daily basis. Tips ranging from cold calling to running effective appointments, handling objections, and creating urgency in your deals. You can get it 100% free at www.modernSalesTraining.com/free. That's modernSalesTraining.com/free. These 12 tips could be the difference between you having a good month or an incredible one. I hope to see you there.